We're back. Told you guys. We're about to go into Summertime Rendering episode 4. This show is nuts, and it just continues to spiral. We have Matt back. Mac is back. What's going on, man?
Glad to be back. Got to talk about this. You weren't kidding when you said it was a crazy episode, man. Oh my lord.
Yeah. So, you weren't here for the third episode. I want to give you the floor for a second. What was your take on episode 3? If you want to briefly recap your thoughts on it.
I wasn't here for 3.
Nope.
That's weird. I thought I was here for 3. All right. No, episode 3 was. I mean, I thought that was a crazy episode until 4, but I mean, 3 was really interesting. It was a little bit more lighthearted from what I remember. Some parts of it, just because we started to see like his other friend and like the little friend group that they had outside of this, and keep the redhead guy, I keep forgetting his name, but him having a crush on Mio and like him like trying to protect her and like you got to protect her, and then Shinpei explaining everything to Mio and them continuing their mission and trying to go to this festival and at the temple and all of that. So I mean, I thought the episode itself was pretty interesting with that, and adding some of those more relationship and friendship building moments. But the thing that really threw, I would say, probably anybody that watched the episode was the ending, and where we just see Ushio walking through the crowd and turns around in episode 4. So, I mean, yeah, man, I loved episode 3, but episode 4, we need to talk about that one.
Right. So, real quick, there's 2 different questions I have for episode 3 for you before we jump into 4. So, you remember the scene where Shin had went into the house of the young girl, and he saw the young girl there. Before that, he even saw the parents were disintegrated, so meaning the shadows had got to him, or she had gotten to him, killed him, copied him presumably, and he met her upstairs, but then he got flashed, right? And we didn't know why. We didn't know what happened, right? And he flashed, and then he went outside and he left. And then later on, of course, we see the Ushio situation. Now, I can't remember if it was you, me, or Matt that brought up the instance that is Ushio still alive? Like, is she actually physically still alive? Because that's going to play into episode 4 very importantly.
I think we all kind of talked about it.
Because we talked about the idea that the body that was there, why didn't the body get disintegrated? Right? Like, why would the copy have not disintegrated and just assimilated into the situation? Right? And now we see an actual Ushio walking around, but she's still in the same bathing suit, which is really weird. So where's she been this whole entire time? So maybe it's got to be a shadow. But there are things in episode 4 that lead you to believe it might not be a shadow. It might be something completely different. So I was going to get your take on a little bit of that, but let's go ahead and just get into the episode 4, I guess. But yeah, so what did you think about that in correlation to Ushio in episode 4? There we go. That's a good segue.
So for me,
yes, sir.
Go for it.
Okay. Man, what the hell, man? Like, that was like my first thought. Like, what the heck? Like, never let them know your next move. You think you got it down, and then they throw something like this. And the first thing that came to my mind was like, okay, all right, what's going on here? Because if this is a shadow, man, if this is a shadow, like, why is she so cordial? Like, why is she so chill with this guy? What's going on? And it brings me back to one of the theories that that we talked about. Like, is this a rebellion? Like, is she maybe a shadow that is not really about that life, and she doesn't want anything to do with it, but she doesn't even know it, or she isn't aware? Is she, like, these are the thoughts that go through my mind. Like, is she working with the lady in the black with the black hair and the glasses? Like, is she working with her? Did they reprogram her to work for them? Is this like a Terminator 2 situation? I just watched that for the first time, by the way. But like, this is a Terminator 2. Yes, I know. Is this a Terminator 2 situation? Like, did they like reprogram her or something? So these are the things that go through my mind. Just seeing the beginning of that episode and her just having a conversation with him, it was really freaky. But yeah, I mean, we keep rolling. I got a lot to say.
I think the thing for me, that threw me off is I was like, he was trying to assess in his head, was that really her?
Mm.
And she wasn't giving any red flags, but then you knew something was wrong. And there's nothing you can do about it as the viewer. Like, as the viewer, we're kind of just like caught off guard by the whole entire thing because we're
Caught
like,
off guard with him.
We don't know what to believe, what to perceive. And then when you get to the moment at the end, in the midway point, he starts to squeeze her arm and presumably look like he's about to break it.
Mm.
And we realize, he's a shadow. So what the heck is going on? And then they go and flash back to show, he got copied and he's suffering somewhere, but they're hip to what he can do. And I think that they referred to Ushio. I think that's who they were talking about.
The traitor.
The traitor.
So that says that she is a shadow.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But it's like, how and why?
And they were talking about mom. They were talking about mom too, or like leader, or like parents, or something. Like what?
Whoever.
What?
The mom of the shadows, I'm assuming. Because and mom is not woken. Like she's like Victor from Underworld. She's not awoken yet.
Right.
Because she said mom's not awake yet. Or did mom tell you this? So I'm sorry, I'm scatterbrained right now because Matthew just said he just saw Terminator 2 for the first time.
I know.
All right. I mean, we can address it briefly, so you can
process
it.
We're not doing it right now. No. Stay on target.
I'm not going to be able to compute that for a while now. But here, as it just pertains to this episode, I think we talked about it in episode 3, where you thought that Ushio had got killed at that moment, and then that was a shadow. Right. I kind of thought it's a possibility that he was copied, but this will also show with his shadow the same issues with Ushio's shadow, and even Miho's shadow, of what happens when a shadow doesn't completely take over you.
Right.
And what happens if this shadow gets a mind of its own? Clearly we see, especially by the end of this episode, the interaction between the other two shadows is that they think for themselves. They are living beings. Right. So it's not just like they're just this thinkless monsters. So what happens if one of these beings decides to say, I don't want to do this? And that's when you get Ushio's shadow and why it's a traitor. Because
and the butterflies.
You did. So it even brings up more questions then. Did the other shadows go purposely out their way to actually kill Ushio because of what the shadow did? Because the shadow just wanted to live. It didn't want to kill.
And
then it still doesn't fully answer the question about Shinpei's eyes. Because he brought them up. So is the eyes just about the loop? Now we understand that they understand what a loop is.
Right.
And that they've heard the saying before from their mom that some people can be caught in this type of loop and do these type of things. Like it brings up more questions of exactly what they are and what is Shinpei.
Right. I think that's the biggest question. Is Shinpei all the way human, or is he something completely different? Because
I think maybe he's human, but I just think some humans have this gift. Because the way they make it sound, it's like he's not the first that's had this ability. So if he's not the first, that doesn't mean he's not human. It just means that he has an ability. That maybe he's the evolution of whatever it is meant to fight them.
Right. That makes sense. It's just weird because the Ushio that gave him the ability to do this isn't the same shadow Ushio that he's talking to right now. Because in the very beginning, like he was kind of like, "Oh, you told me to watch out for me. You told me to do this," and she was like, "What are you talking about?" Last thing I remember, I was at the water, and so it's kind of like that was a different version of her. In my opinion, there had to have been a different universal version of her.
No, but keep in mind, it wasn't the shadow that told him to look out for Miho.
So you saying it was actually Ushio?
Yes.
That gave him this, but I don't know.
Keep in mind, he didn't see Ushio until he died. He had to go back, and then she told him what to do.
I mean, she specifically said to the shadow version, she said, I don't even know what you're talking about. I never said that.
Yep.
Like I never said that to you or Mio, and this one is not even. She's not even fully aware that she's a shadow. She doesn't even know what that is.
Right. It's true.
She's convinced that she is, the original Ushio.
And because her memories cut off from the moment Ushio was copied. So she couldn't remember anything else after that. But it brings up an interesting point. Go back to Ushio saying, protect Miho and find me. She was talking about the shadow.
Wow.
Where she said, find me. Because she is dead. But if she says find me, she's talking about the shadow.
That's creepy, bro.
What if she got involved with this organization? Because I'm hoping this week's episode we get more information on who dark-haired lady is and what she really does and who she's with. Because what if maybe she was working with them before she died, and maybe the shadow that was sent to take care of the real Ushio decided that she didn't want to do that, like you were saying, like she didn't want to do that. Yep. And maybe, I don't know, maybe they had an arrangement. Maybe she was like, I know you're going to copy me. I know you have to copy me. But, and I know, maybe we're going to make it look a certain way or make sure that you find Shinpei. Maybe she made an arrangement with that one. Because they're calling her a traitor for a reason. They know she did something. So, yes, Ushio is dead. I think the Ushio is dead and she knows some things, but she gave him the gift. And I don't think she had that gift on her own.
She definitely did give.
I honestly don't think she had that gift on her own. I think that the dark-haired lady gave her that, or someone from her organization gave her that, and maybe she decided to give it to Shinpei.
The shadow copied Ushio just as she was dying.
Well, did she? That's the question.
She did, because remember when she said when they were talking. And he was like, you're dead. And she said, I'm not dead. I'm right here. And then she said, wait a minute. I remember the pain.
She did. And she was bringing up the water, too.
She was remembering dying.
Wait, right. I got a thing.
That's creepy.
What if, right? What if? As maybe the shadow that took over Ushio wasn't necessarily trying to portray them initially. What if Ushio actually was thinking, I feel like she knew more about this thing than we know.
Yes.
What if, as she was dying, she did something to corrupt the shadow's brain so that it could forget its original purpose and that it starts to have more of a heart? What if that was just secretly part of her plan? Like, you know what? I'm going to die anyway, but let me at least reprogram this thing last minute with whatever abilities I have, so that it can protect Mio and protect Shinpei.
I got a bigger question. Wouldn't you think that these shadows are self-thinking beings?
What do you mean? Elaborate.
Well, all the shadows are people. What's the difference? At this point, we have established in this episode, they have mothers, they have feelings, they have thoughts, they have everything humanly possible. So what happened if this shadow copied Ushio and got attached? Like, wow, this is an amazing person. What would be the outcome if you get a shadow who's doubting what they actually are and has gone out the way not to remember?
Machine learning, AI stuff.
There you go.
Well, I'm just thinking about it because it's like I'm thinking about Smith. I'm thinking about Agent Smith as a character too, because he as a machine was like, you know what, man, I want power for myself. I don't even want to do what these guys want me to do. I want to do. And he started questioning his own existence in the Matrix. But
or for a while when we thought Neo was a machine, and he didn't think he was one. Right. What does that do to you?
Right.
I'm really trying to figure out, because again, Ushio, why was she? Bring me to my question. Why is she so important? Why is Mio so important? She knows more. I don't know. She comes from some long line of people that could do this. Maybe she was working with them. I have no idea, but it's just so weird that
it is really weird.
It's so weird that, this shadow, as you said, has its own thoughts and feelings, and they feel as if they have their own, they have their own purpose. That yes, they can copy people's, memories, but on top of the memories, they don't necessarily act like the people that they copy
Yeah,
when they're not pretending to be them.
exactly.
Right.
So because Mia wouldn't kill anybody, right? That we know of so far. That we know she wouldn't kill anybody. So the fact that these shadows are killing people is already a personality thing that's different. That's their own thing.
Yep.
Yeah, because even
Exactly.
when it was revealed that Shin was copied, like the shadow version of Mia was about to just kill him, and he was like, wait, chill. Like I think we need to wait because I think he's looping, and I think we need to assess this differently. And she was ticked off a little bit. She was like, nah, bro, and he's like, no, let's assess this, meaning that they're not symbiotically linked. Like they are their own individuals
Or
that
where
are
he said,
making these
don't do it. This is something that mom never said.
something like that.
Yeah.
Something weird like
Again,
that.
it's the thought again, it's the thought process that they're not one, they don't operate as one individual thought.
Not at all.
These are individuals,
They're not like
these
a hive
are
mind.
creatures. Exactly. So if they are, we would get extremists like Miho's shadow. We would get thinkers like Shinpei shadow, but would we get sensitive ones also?
Right.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Because what I'm thinking too is that these shadows need hosts. I mean, even if you look at the little girl,
Uh-huh.
was that the one that copied Shinpei, or was that a separate shadow? Because was that a separate shadow? Was Shinpei hiding behind that? Because it did transform, I think.
Yep.
If I'm not mistaken. So that one is definitely the thinker. It's the one that's processing everything. It's the one that's like, okay, we got to be smart about this.
Right.
So I'm just trying to think.
Yeah, because that's what I was talking to Lucas about. Like, I was like, why didn't that thing just kill him? Like, it didn't make any sense. I was like, I was like, everything about the last episode, I was like, it doesn't make sense. Why would it just let him leave? And now it makes all the sense because he's playing the long game. He's like, oh yeah, I'm hitting what's going on with this Joker. I need to infiltrate this all the way, and we can't let him die because if we do, we're screwed. Kind of thing. It's just crazy.
Those are the scary ones. It reminds me of like Admiral Thrawn, my favorite Star Wars character in the books and in the series. Admiral Thrawn. I don't know if you know who Admiral Thrawn is, but
I do.
Admiral Thrawn's my dude. But Admiral, what?
He's blue, right?
Yeah, the blue guy. But no, the thing I like about Admiral Thrawn, which is what I'm going to link back to Shinpei's character, is that he's a thinker. He's not that like those other Imperial generals that are like, like extremists, this genocide. Like, he's not. He's like, no, we're gonna commit genocide, but we're gonna do it smartly. Like, we're not gonna be stupid about it, right? He's a thinker, and those are the ones that you got to be really afraid of, because when they get you in the spot that they want you, that's when they'll really like let their top off and just go crazy. So I feel like with this one that's copying Shinpei, he might be a similar type too. That he's going to wait for the right moment to get you. When he gets you, it's going to be scary. So I don't know. I mean, is this? It has me thinking. Like, do they have some type of military system? Is this like an army? Right? Is he like a general? And well, I didn't. Okay, this reminds me of kind of like the Marley stuff, Sam.
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like the LDN stuff.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm thinking about like that. So I'm like, is it a situation like that with the LDNs and all that kind of stuff like that? It has me thinking like, is this a rebellion, or is just kind of like, we don't know. It may not be what it seems. Yeah. Are these shadows even really evil? Were they oppressed in the past? Are they the humans came and oppressed them and maybe hid them from being, maybe that island was their home. And they're just trying to get it back. Are they revolting?
Yeah, because the old man was like, I forget what he said. It was like back in the war, it was really easy, and he saw a lot more of it back then. But yeah, no, it's possible. This is the weird thing about it, and I think that's probably what's going to end up being the next episode. Is that probably his shadow is going to end up killing his friends? To be honest with you. And I think he's going to end up having to kill himself or get somebody else. Because the reality is now they're already compromised. He's already disabled. Like, his leg is shattered. His arm is broken. Yes, the girl saved him. But I feel like even in the intro, we see it every single time in the intro. He's got the gun to his head, and we never knew why he did that. But I'm thinking that for him to be able to re-loop and be able to stop what happened, I think he's going to end up having to take his own life or die one way or another. To be honest with you,
fate zero, man. Like
it really
is. It's
it
fate,
really-
bro.
It brings the question: since he knows he's in a loop, why not just kill yourself? But it also brings the question: if he kills himself, would he go back in the loop?
That's the question.
Yeah, he doesn't
Because
even
he's
know.
always been killed by one of the shadows. The shadows have been the one that's killed him, not him accidentally dying or somebody else regular killing him. Had to be one of the shadows. So it's like if he did, or even asked the girl, "Can you please shoot me in the face, please?" There's no guarantee he's gonna come back because it may have to be at the hands of a shadow. Like that's the only consistent thing that he can account for.
So have you guys done this? This is what I'm just laughing. Like I've done this so many times. I'm playing a game, this super like story driven game. Mm-hmm. I'm going crazy. I got a nice save point. Mm-hmm. You know, any Dark Souls player will tell you this pain. And you're playing the game, and you get to a certain spot, and you just get rocked real bad. And you instead of you rage quit and go right back to that previous save. Just so you can redo it again.
You don't have to worry about that mess.
Yeah, because you're not trying because you know
suffering.
It's coming.
You're suffering.
Right? You know it's coming.
Yeah.
And you know where to hide this time. And you just keep reloading back to that previous save point. I feel like that might be what he has to do.
It sounds familiar back in my days playing video games. Because I used to do that all the time. Be like, yep, I'm just gonna die here because I think I know how to beat you now.
Yeah. Yep. He's like, man, I got like 10 HP. It don't even make no sense keeping fighting. Like
Animusha days back in the day, or no, Ninja Gaiden days.
I'm real old because I was about to say a game. I'm not.
What you gonna say, Kung Fu?
No, that is back. That is back to Double Dragon days.
Oh god. Oh gosh.
I can say I'm old enough and young enough to remember having to leave the console plugged in overnight because there was no such thing as saving the game.
Yep.
You just had to just leave it in because you didn't have a memory card on your PlayStation to save the game.
No, it wasn't. Yeah.
Or even the Sega or the Atari, you just had to leave it in.
Get a memory card.
Yeah, one of those memory cards back in the day.
Playing the Nintendo and not being at a save point, and you're like, well, it's no such thing. I'm just gonna
nobody touched the TV.
Like, you forgot. Oh man, I didn't blow the cartridge ahead of time. Oh man, I'm screwed.
Yep.
Because look, somebody takes off that TV.
Blow the cartridge, put the cartridge in the freezer so it'll play better.
Oh.
And look, I've had my trigger moments where someone took off the TV after 20 levels of grinding, and I have to do it again. So, but anyway, back to summertime rendering. Yeah.
This is the entertainment you guys are getting right now. I hope you guys enjoying it. But yeah, I mean the way that this ended, bro, like the Shadow Mia, she's a little sadistic.
She's crazy.
Like she's not just like she enjoys making people feel pain.
Yes.
Like she enjoys making people kind of suffer and just letting them run away for her to stab them in the back later. Because he was sitting there crawling up. She's like, yeah, there's no really use. I don't know why you're doing this. But okay, there you go. There's your leg. There's your arm.
Like a little Chucky, Joe.
She was. And she just smiling the whole entire time. No jokes, just smiling. And it's one of the sickest things. I was like, yo, I felt for my man right here, bro. I felt for him bad.
It had me thinking about like Watchmen, right? Like you look at that dynamic, which is why I'm thinking about if this is a group of people, kind of like an army or like small militia or something like that. There's always going to be the one crazy one in that group. And if you look at Watchmen, I'm thinking about the comedian, right? They all have one goal. They all got one goal, but then the comedian is just like, yeah, we have a goal, but life's a joke. Pow. Like, right.
Yep.
So I'm going to kill you for no reason just because I want to. So we're all part of this collective. We all have this one goal, but I still have my own personal enjoyment too. I want to enjoy this. So it's insane.
So do you think, is it possible that these shadows are a random or extreme take on their subconscious? Like like say if there wasn't necessarily, they didn't have like defined roles necessarily, but when they imprinted on to these humans, a part of their internal emotion or connection imprints onto them. The only reason why I ask that is because Mio I find Mio so secretive and closed in with her emotions of how she feels about everything. Like she was even smiling, in the midst of her grieving her sister. Like the whole entire time, she just holding it all in.
Yeah.
He's really like inquisitive. Like he thinks and processes a lot, but he's really spaced out as well. And based on what we've seen from Ushio, like she's the heart and soul. Like she's a pure heart and soul
Everybody
firecracker. Everybody loves her, but she loves everybody, And I'm wondering if when these shadows imprint on them, it's just an extreme version of them. Because I feel like each part of them have different attributes of the characters. It's just the worst extreme versions of it.
To add to what you're saying too, not even worst extreme. Maybe okay, we say worst extreme, but what if from the shadows perspective, they're like, no, this is their true self.
This is who they really are.
We are tapping into who they truly are. Because you always gotta watch out for the quiet kid, if I'm being real with you. It's always the quiet kid that you gotta be cautious of, because they are sometimes the most craziest ones. They're very unpredictable. They got some really crazy, dark thoughts. Right. So it's like, what you're saying makes sense, because Mio is the kind of like shy. She's not really an outgoing person. She's just kind of like the cutesy, shy, quiet kind of personality type. That's who she is. And it's, and we've seen that. And like you said, like even her just laughing, just as a coping mechanism at the funeral was crazy. So, can we talk about my redhead man getting slapped on though, man? I feel sorry for my guy, bro. The man was like, "Yo, listen to me. I got an announcement to make." And it's just getting curved, man. I've been there quite a few times. So,
it was so bad. His homegirl was like, "Yeah, this is not gonna end well."
She knew too.
She was like, "What you talking about?" He's like, "Oh yeah, just watch."
Yeah, you know what's bad when your own people don't even believe in you.
I'm about to say she raggedy for saying, "Yeah, watch him get his heart broken. Just watch."
Basically, I was like,
she low key likes him though. I feel like it's the ones that root for you to fail is the one that actually like you. Yeah, my man was out here all prim and proper. Let me protect you. I got you. And then she just rejected my guy. So that's just a little disappointing right there.
Like, yeah, watch him get disappointed. Just watch.
I don't know why he wasn't reading the room, bro. Like I think he was kind of like, you know what?
He was in love, Sam.
I get it, but he knew already that she was vibing off of him, and he knew that. He said in the last episode, he was like, "I can tell Mio really likes you." Yeah. Well, if you're not willing to take that, then I'll reciprocate those feelings. But that's
know what though? I respect.
It's hard for some folk, man. They out there. They just.
You know what though, man? Look.
I believe in love. Like
even
Lenny Williams couldn't give up on love. You expect him to give up on love.
I respect him because a lot of people don't have that kind of courage to be like.
There you go.
Be like, freak it. I'm gonna just say it anyway. Like if it happens, it happens. Like it is what it is. Sam, you know who Mio reminds me of though? Low key, Belle. She reminds me of Belle.
I agree.
From Beauty and the Beast?
No.
Well, the anime Belle.
She kind of reminds me of Belle because Belle kind of had a very similar. She went through a traumatic thing, yes, but like that caused her to be that way. But she was also like didn't really believe in herself. She had this crush on this guy that she grew up with. She's kind of quiet. She has a one friend that she talks to, and but she doesn't really tap into her full potential.
Okay.
Until the end. So I don't know, maybe just to add to your theory, Sam, about her just being crazy, maybe the shadow is just seeing all these crazy thoughts and this inner anger that Mio is hiding and keeping for herself. It's just being an embodiment.
She's definitely holding it in because you could tell that there was definitely some jealousy with the relationship he was having with Ushio. She had feelings for him that she never revealed to him. He left her basically, and Ushio technically. And the fact that she, kept the secret about the shadows as long as she did, up until she realized the little girl could be taken, bro, like that's the kind of sneaky and
I
internal
got another
stuff that
theory.
you just really don't know.
I
what
got
this person's
another
capable of.
theory, though, Sam.
So,
just to add to what you're saying, what if? And I think we said this before, but now with what you're saying, I think we have more proof. What if, because of this tremendous jealousy, she actually killed Ushio? Because what I'm thinking, because our theory so far has just been like the shadows kill the people that they take after, right? Yep. That's been our theory. But what if she was the one that maybe I'm telling you, what if Ushio and her shadow was tight? What if they were tight? What if they were, they did this, and then maybe Mio, because Mio was there. She was in the area. What if she was the one that killed her because she's like, no, you're getting in the way of me and Shinpei. And the shadow happened to copy Ushio and be like, you know what, I'll keep your legacy alive, or I'll protect you, or I'll save you, or I'll tell Ushio. I don't know. It just has me thinking now, because if your theory is correct, Sam, and she is this crazy person on the inside, and she is this jealous, and she's always been jealous of Ushio because she would get more attention than her. Why would she not have a motive to kill her?
That's a good question.
Even though it seems weird right now, but what if she?
So this is the weird thing, this is why this is very possible what you're saying. We know that Ushio was strangled, right? We know that Ushio's shadow has no recollection of what happened outside of copying Ushio and then existing.
Yep.
So she's knocked off the list. Mio's shadow, she has a proclivity of slicing people's necks. Like, she don't really be putting her hands on anybody. She kind of just loves stabbing people or shooting them. I'm not saying that she wouldn't do it, but outside of the guy that likes Mio, somebody strangled Ushio. Somebody did strangle her. And I would assume strangled her and put her body underwater. It's just weird because it doesn't make sense. Somebody saved the little girl from out the water, supposedly. But how did she get strangled? Somebody's lying. That's what I'm trying to say.
I think
either Mio is lying, or something happened in the interim between when Ushio went to try to save the little girl and what the friend saw, the friend that likes Mio saw, versus what really happened.
To add more to my theory, though, based on what you brought up a good point, though. Hi. What if?
I don't know what that was, but okay.
no, sorry. It's a little weird tick thing that I have, like where I have like my gears start to turn. And I just. You catch the Holy Spirit.
Well, I ain't gonna lie. That's exactly what I thought you were doing. I was like, am I in church right now? Because I could have sworn he just.
Wow.
I didn't want to say nothing, but.
Hey, look. It's probably what it is. But, like, look, think about it, though.
Yeah, Sam's going to lose it
now. What if because my redhead guy, what if because he likes Mio so much, and Mio knows this, I believe she knows this already. She was just having face in front of everybody just so that she doesn't seem that she didn't know. Yeah. What if he knew and saw that she killed Ushio? Ooh. And decided that he was going to keep the secret because he loved her. And she asked, and she manipulated him, knowing that she knows that he likes her, right? And say, okay, he likes me. Maybe I can use this to my advantage. Don't tell anybody. Tell him that she was trying to protect this little girl. And the only reason I'm saying that too, to corroborate what I'm saying, is like, look how shocked she was when she saw Mio, Ushio, not because it was like a shock, like, oh, my sister is alive. Like, my sister's alive? I thought I killed her. What the hell is this?
Yeah, neither one of them were crying at all.
No, she wasn't like, oh my God, Ushio?
Or she was very confident of seeing her said, "That's not my sister."
Yeah, she did.
She was very confident in that.
She was like, "That's not.
Oh, that's not my sister. I know that's not my sister."
Right.
Ushio, who is this? Who's this? Why would you bring this person here?
She did.
How would she know if she
looked mad? She looked pissed. Matter of fact.
Yeah.
I mean, could she have possibly killed her after she? Look, I don't want to make Miho into a murderer, but
I don't want to either. I'm just trying to think outside the box here.
after Yushiro told Miho that she loved Shinpei.
I'm telling you, what she's like, you what? You
love will make you do crazy things.
Because Sam, that point you made really got me thinking in that direction. Because if these shadows are copying the inner beings of these people, who they really are on the inside, I would not put it past her that she would get so overwhelmed with emotion and so overwhelmed. I mean, I could think about. Did any of y'all see Bridgerton?
Of course.
This might be
you ask that question.
This might be a bad example, but the one thing I can think about, spoilers for anybody that may want to watch it, is the whole Lady Whistledown thing. Like, look how what's her name, Penny?
Yep.
Look how Penny was, all quiet and all like off to the side and all quiet and just shy and everything. And look at the lengths that she was willing to go to expose even her own family and her best friend. Someone who, or not even her friend, her cousin, her blood, because she was so in love with this guy, and her cousin was getting in the way of that. And she's like, "Well, I have this power to make you look bad. I'm going to expose your business,
right?
And I'm comparing that to Mio now in a situation where it's like,
that is a good comparison.
Yeah, like that's the first thing I'm thinking about. Like Mio was like, okay, you what now? You like we were friends now, but you like the guy I love? Nah. You love the guy I love? That ain't gonna happen. Not today. So that's what I'm saying. You might be onto something with that one, because I don't know. Do you actually know how many episodes is in this?
Bro,
first off, we ain't even. Never mind. I'm gonna shut up. No, I don't know how many episodes.
I know you better not have getting me into one of these 1,000 episodes.
No, it's no way. It's no way.
It's
Nah. It's not set up that way. You would know that.
Either this is a one and only series, that's it, or it's like seasonal. There's no way. It's the way that this is built up. Like, nah.
They don't have the brain power to do 1,000 episodes this elegantly.
Nah.
Elegant.
Trust me, you would know based on the structure of the anime, because most like shonen animes and stuff like that, action animes, they're set up in a way where like the first 5 episodes is just crazy nonsense. And like maybe every 10 episodes you'll get some serious plot points.
Yeah.
Like some like real serious stuff. There'll be like plot throughout, but like every 10 episodes you get like some serious meat. Now this episode you're getting serious meat. This show you're getting serious meat every episode. So that's how you know it's not going to be a super long, not planned out show. You can tell just by how it's structured.
Oh, don't worry about it. I'm letting you get off by saying serious meat that many times in a row, so I'm good.
I'm sitting there just holding it in.
The thing is, look. This is how I live my life. When you say something, you just gotta let it go. I already said it. What do you want me to do? Take it back?
Hey, no. You're good.
I already said it.
You're good.
Hold on. I got a weird random question just to throw all this off anyway. Initially, in the beginning of episode 5, the fake version of Shin told Ushiro to hide and stay put, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he got back to the friends, and Ushiro showed up behind him. And he was pissed because he said, "You weren't supposed to do that. I told you what to do. Are you stupid or something? Why didn't you just listen to me?" Now, what was his intent? Was he trying to assimilate with them?
I think to get close to her at that point in time, because he knew that was the traitor. But he needed to get the end. The thing that would make her trust him.
No. I'm talking about. So remember, she was supposed to be still hiding. He went back to where the crew was. Now, the original Shin, unbeknownst to all of us, the audience, is that the shadow version of Mio got him held up. He had already went and assimilated back to the friends.
I think he was just going to get back to the friends to
why
replace
didn't
him.
he just take out the traitor right then and there? But
no, remember though when he started squeezing her because like you're not supposed to be here. Like she wasn't supposed to show up. It was just supposed to be him assimilating as Shinpei with the friends.
But
that was it.
Sam, you also brought up another good thing, though. We cannot forget that just 2 episodes ago, that we did not get an explanation. I think that shadow was there the whole time because you remember when he was
talking with the little girl.
Well, not just that though. Not just that. Even before that,
when he got caught the first time.
Nah. When he got killed the first time, and there was that other shadow thing on top of him that seemed to be talking. Now you gotta go back. You gotta find that scene. He's literally talking to him like, you're so stupid. Like, why are you doing this? So why'd you do this again? And
I do remember that.
And they never addressed it again.
They didn't. But again, we talked about this in episode 3 that when the first episode, when the sheriff was talking about him, the sheriff was like, "What are you doing back here again? We already talked this morning."
Yeah, when it was like he was going back over and over again, and he was saying things that like he was out of place when he didn't remember what was going on.
Right.
Yeah.
That shadow was already there the whole time.
One shadow was. This is the thing. I don't know if a shadow can go and change its form.
Or go back to when he was initially killed. Or when they were going to kill him, the second time. And it was like, well, why not get him? He said, we don't have to worry about him. He's already been. And then it cut off and didn't tell us anything else after that.
Right. That doesn't add up.
But the shadow, think about it too. We can't forget that nice little camera flash at the funeral.
Yeah, exactly. Who was that for?
So
remember, he had the flash and he turned around. He's like, huh?
So how is it possible that Shinpei's been copied multiple times?
No, it is impossible. But the only thing is that every time that he dies, right?
It's a new shadow. But
that's the only thing I can think of.
So does the shadow life reset with his life?
That's what I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I have absolutely no idea. Like,
so is it possible that every time he dies, he has a shadow
another residual
that goes back with him?
Right.
But I also think that the shadows do reset though, because you remember the shadow Mio killed him already.
Yeah.
Wouldn't she be on the lookout for him the second time if she reset? Or are you just talking about Shinpei's?
Yes,
I'm talking about
shadow him.
Oh, okay, got you.
Because how would they know he's looping?
Gotcha.
Well, again, but they bring up that this isn't the first one. This is the first time they heard of people having the ability to loop.
No, I know that, but I'm saying, who would know that he had already died and came back?
The new Shinpei when he was copied.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that I think that his residual. Yes, exactly.
But this leads me to one of the other theories that I brought up in the first time we started talking about these. What if and I think we all kind of said variations of this, but what if the two of them are the rebellion ones? What if the ones that we're seeing on that poster right there are both the shadows? Like, remember we had said that, maybe Ushio and Shinpei were both shadows that are rebelling, and they're both traitors.
I just find it weird that when the shadow version of Shin or Shinpei grabbed Ushio, he proceeded to almost break her arm and held her down. But yet, how is it that the Mio shadow is strong enough to hold a human up by its neck? Why wouldn't that version of Ushio be able to defend itself?
But remember, he said that this thing is super strong.
Yeah, but she'd be able to too.
Okay, but remember, this Ushio shadow doesn't even realize that
it's a shadow. Yeah, it doesn't know it's a shadow.
She doesn't even think she's a shadow. She doesn't even know that yet.
That makes sense.
She doesn't even remember that. She thinks she is the Ushio.
It brings up questions about exactly who the shadows are and how the shadows operate. That's the biggest thing. Because what happens if the evil ones we're seeing are actually the rebellious shadows. What happened if the normal shadows aren't this way?
And this also reminded me of Swan Song, Mahershala Ali.
Yeah.
When the doppelganger was like starting to be like, who is actually real here?
Right.
Am I the real one?
I've never seen that movie.
Oh, you didn't see, but I know Sam. I know you saw Swan Song.
Yeah, I did.
It's like when he was.
Oh, quick! But it does remind me of Duel. If you all have seen Duel, where the clone and the regular one would actually fight to the death, but the clone never knew it was a clone unless it was told it was a clone.
Yeah, just so you guys understand what the heck he's talking about. Hold on.
Or the Sixth Man with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Go back, way back for y'all.
There you go. This is Duel, everybody. So if you know,
it's Karen Gillan.
Yeah. Guardians of the Galaxy.
But again, or the Sixth Day, where we literally saw this. This is actually close to the temple of the Sixth Day with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Where they were copied and they got copied and they went back in time and he didn't know he was the copy and they didn't know which one was the original. And the whole thing plays out with you not knowing which is which.
I
forgot all about that movie, bro. That's been a rip.
This also reminds me of a character in My Hero Academia. Sam, I don't know
that one too.
That's a good one. Sam, you see My Hero?
You already know, man.
Yeah, so you know the one that's kind of like Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of him because he was saying if they keep their mask off for long enough, they won't even realize because he can make copies of himself. But he didn't. If they kept the mask off long enough, they wouldn't even. The clones would start to not even realize who's the real one.
Right. They
start to fight each other, thinking that they are the real one, that they are the original one, and they start to even forget that. You don't even know who's a clone.
Right. Same thing, kind of even in Invincible. I think that's the latest one that Robot. Spoiler: Robot goes and you see what the real robot actually is.
Well, that's a spoiler. Hold up, let me just get over this game, finish this thing yet.
I'm gonna shut up. But yeah, that's the best. That's the best comparison for you. Anyway, I think that this show is freaking nuts. The fact that we're talking 47 minutes about an episode I can barely remember, but now I remember everything about it. And we talked about 2 different episodes for Spy Family just a second ago, less than 40 minutes. That's ridiculous, bro.
I feel like if we just started this conversation too, though.
I was gonna say, and this is a completely different type of show.
It is.
Like this is
a thinking boy show.
It reminds me of Amazingly Looper.
Anywho, well, any closing thoughts, gentlemen?
Man, I'm just really. It seems as if dark-haired lady is gonna start to explain some things to just give me the Shin. Shin, he remembered her, he recognized her. How could you forget that incident? But you're not gonna forget that, all right? So he remembered exactly who she was. He had only seen her the one time. Actually, no, I think he remembered her from the previous times he was looped. Saw her shot.
He remembers her.
So he remembers her vividly. But anyways, I think that she's gonna maybe start to explain some things to him, hopefully in the next episode. And I was just thinking about what I said. I wasn't even trying to be funny with what I said. I just said it because it's true. But anyways, I wasn't even trying to be funny, bro. I was just. But anyways, my thoughts. Yeah, we'll hopefully we get some answers. That's just really what I want. I really want to start getting some more of those breadcrumbs because we're getting a lot of breadcrumbs. I'm trying to eat now. I'm trying to get a full plate. I'm trying to make a sandwich. So we need to go and make some food.
She's looking at you and glaring.
She's looking at me, man. She's looking at somebody else.
She's very disturbed by your comments.
I'm a fact man, and I'm an honest man. Sam, I'm an honest person. I'm just gonna say what's on my mind. It's just the truth. you're not gonna forget. If you stub your toe in a really bad way, you're not gonna forget that. All right, I still remember the one Lego that really messed my toe up for like 2 weeks. Okay, I'm not gonna incidents. You're just not gonna forget things like that. So that's just what I meant. But anyways, I mean, I stopped digging holes for Lucas to keep, you know.
Hey, yo.
Lucas keep making jokes because I already see his head already ready.
Hey. I'm just gonna say every time you say something, a little fish. I'm just going, hey yo. That's it. I'm not gonna say nothing else, man.
And I guess that's all we got.
I'm just waiting for the next episode, man. I think we're gonna get some answers hopefully next month.
Yeah, we'll be back next Monday for more Spy Family and more summertime rendering. Make sure you go down to the description bar below. Go and follow Matt. Check out his social media. Check out his content. He's got an instant reaction of, I think, this episode and Spy Family as well. And on that note, for Matt, we're going.
Not for me, nah, fam. Not for me. I'm about to make this out the game.
Filing out the top of the
I can see the skyline, 50 mile radius on my timeline.